Another week. It is May 16th. It's Thursday. And what are we doing today? I'll tell you what. I was just coming from making a video that I thought I was going to get up in time. And my dog, Ricky, ran off like all those profits we were supposed to get. Whatever happened to that, right? Are we rich yet? How are you doing today? Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what's going on in your world as we prepare for Alex to join us. And we will have us a good old time, a good old live today. Thank you for being here with me, my friends. Let me see something. Hold tight, hold tight. Creators must be, they're treating it like it's my very first live. They gave me the little notification and everything. If it's your first time joining me on a live, then welcome. We're here to give you helpful news, commentary, and answers to your crypto questions. This is the Rise Up Morning Show. That's what we're doing. Elvis, welcome. Bengals fan, Dunn, Mike Daniels, so glad to have you all here. I'll be joined shortly by my colleague Alex. My name is Evan. We work in the crypto space, and together, along with our friends in this community, we try to do our best to educate folks about the perils, pitfalls, the perfections, and whatever P words you want to say about cryptocurrency. So let me know where you're joining from. Let me know what questions you have. If you are a cryptocurrency skeptic, if you're someone who's curious about this technology, and the question of the week, at least for me, has been, what do you think about the intersection of AI and crypto? And I am not talking about this like latest round of projects where somebody is building a GPT clone and they throw a cryptocurrency on it to raise money for it. I'm talking about AI using blockchain to become more secure, to decentralize the process of its inquiry, to use tokens like non-fungible tokens to verify that it is your trusted AI, not a bot somewhere. To use crypto rails as payments so you don't have to rely on Web 2 for your AI to run, but you can really make it a trustless, permissionless thing. That's what I'm talking about. It's been the question of the week, and I've had to clarify it a lot. I think because most people still don't grasp, and this is okay, that crypto can be so much more than currency. In case you didn't know, it will be more than currency. NFTs will be more than JPEGs, the way your smartphone does more than phone calls. So if you have questions about it, or if you're already like, oh my God, what's an NFT? Then you're in the right place, I promise. I'm so glad that you're here. But that's the question for all my regular folks. John, I see you. Thank you for the likes. What do you think, John? Do AI and crypto go together? Am I and everyone else who thinks this just nuts? I don't know. Hunter, thank you very kindly. I woke up with good hair today. I was going to put it back in a little ponytail. Try and keep some of the cute bangs going on because the bangs are banging today. I didn't do anything to deserve it. But here I am. Isn't that what Dave Ramsey always says? Better than I deserve. My hair is better than I deserve. That's for sure. Talk to me about my sister. She got the good hair, thank God. Otherwise, I'd never hear the end of it. Here comes Alex. And if you're just joining us for the first time, then please know that we're here every Monday through Thursday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. And if you don't have time for a live show 4 days a week, I don't blame you. Check out the Rise Up Morning Show newsletter. It's all the best tips, tricks, yada, 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 links, etc. from the show. You can sign up by tapping my face or his face or just checking out the riseupmorningshow.com where all the good stuff is. Alex, man, how you doing?
Oh, can't complain. Good to go.
Yeah. I guess you could. But
I always can.
yeah, and sometimes we do, right? Oh my gosh. I was trying to make a video in the garden this morning, running out of time. You got a wisp?
I got one little wisp that just won't stay back.
The wisp that won't stay back. Yeah, I get you. Oh my gosh. Okay. Will ENS domains be of any value in the future? Alex said some of them will probably. You don't think, generally speaking, that all of them will the way? I mean, I don't know. I value my web domain now, even though it's not worth anything. Don't you?
Okay, wait, are we already getting into a semantic discussion about the word value?
Yes, we are. I can see that.
I haven't
That's
taken
probably
a single sip of coffee yet.
That's okay, man. Me either. You probably interpreted Wade correctly. Let us know, Wade. Like,
Yeah.
is that your interpretation? Did you mean to speculate on? The ENS community is a lot like the web domain community, which I'm not a part of either, like deeply. But I understand that the active OG people have done a lot to discourage and prevent folks who just come in and like, I don't know, squat and trade and speculate. There's like an appropriate way to do it that is accepted. I don't know. Maybe you're part of that, Wade. I don't know. In which case, I would say, it's an active community of people that you can get to know, who are much more informed about it, I would say, than I am, in terms of the prospects for trading them, the proliferation of them. But it is a strong brand. People believe in ENS domains. And as far as like Web3 domains, it's the leading place to be. I have an ENS domain. Do you have yours, Alex? Do you have one?
I do not.
Yeah, I have conversations with Evan.eth. I thought about getting evanman.eth, but somebody else has owned it. There's another Evan Man in the crypto space, and I don't want to take that away from him. Everyone knows conversations with Evan, so you have to renew them, just like DNS domains, but it's your address on the Ethereum network. It's super helpful. My social wallet. If you want to send me an NFT, you can send it to conversationswithevan.eth instead of having to memorize my long public key. It's
Yeah.
cool.
I do have multiple like domains. I went the unstoppable route instead of ENS because ENS requires, as far as I know, still maintenance fees to keep, just like a standard domain. You have to repay for it every few years or something like that. And then unstoppable is a one-time purchase. So I went that direction instead.
Tell me more about that, because I have heard that, but I honestly don't know a ton about unstoppable domains. What in fact makes them unstoppable? Is it just like a commitment they have made? Is it actually built into a protocol?
So I'm not technically educated enough to tell you like all of the differences and the nuances between the two. Basically, I've had it for years, and all that it was, I should get another one because I don't. That was like my old original TikTok handle, back in the day. And Wade, to your point, yeah, they're typically relatively cheap, which kind of goes to my point. Like there's going to be a ton of them that are just worthless.
Yeah.
But there are, I'm sure, going to be, I'm sure that diamondhands.eth will always have a value to it. For example,
Yeah. Or like
something
69.eth.
But why don't let's just
Yeah, let's just check. That's a good idea. We have the power.
I'm sitting in front of here with an internet-enabled device and a world at my fingertips.
I know, and meanwhile we're just twiddling our thumbs, going, "I wonder what they think about. I wonder what unstoppable." Yeah. If you look some of that up, I'm going to check out the unstoppable question. I'm going to answer zigzag. Yes, we hope to have a guest on later today. We've been trying to get our friend DeFi Daddy on. I don't know his real name. I don't know if he has a real name online.
I would be referring to him as Daddy. Still, I'm told otherwise.
Yeah, I think so too. Hey, Daddy. What's up, Daddy? How you been, Daddy? And he lives in Pacific Standard Time, so this is like god early for him, and has said he will try to make it towards the end of the show. And so we're going to see. Nathan is his real name. Love it. Yeah, I love his takes. I catch his lives whenever I can to support, and have wanted to have a live conversation with him for some time, because there are a lot of things like the crypto AI thing. I would really like to talk to him about it, because I think he also believes that, most of the current crypto AIs suck, and maybe he believes it's useful. What you got?
All right. So the first big difference is that I wish you hadn't have told me his name was Nathan, because now I'm still going to refer to him as
I'm still going to call him Daddy.
Mr. Daddy to be polite. But no, I am excited to have him on. Okay, so the big difference. So ENS, so both of them obviously use NFTs. It really just says that the biggest difference is that ENS domains must be renewed annually, while unstoppable domains have no renewals. Unstoppable is on both Ethereum and Polygon. Which is, I know that I got mine on Polygon.
Ahead of your time, man.
Again, I bought this in 2021, so it's been a smidge. ENS obviously is an Ethereum thing. Yes, renewals, one-time payment around $20 for an unstoppable, ranging, five plus per year for ENS. ENS.eth unstoppable has lots of different extensions. So I know there's .crypto, like mine is .nft. .crypto, .nft, .wallet, X, DAO, Bitcoin, 888, blockchain, ZIL.
888. I wonder where they get these. Like, why? What is obviously the significance of DAO, wallet, NFT, crypto, whatever. But like 888, anybody know? X, Elon Musk is pissed. I don't know. Hey, Rick.
Yeah. ENS has a token. Unstoppable does not. Unstoppable has some permissioned features, including the pre-reservation of several brand and high-value names that were reserved to prevent squatting until whoever it is came forward. So I'm sure that, like, I don't know, Twitter or Elon Musk.nft, for example, was not made available, whereas ENS was like, no, dude, open market.
Well, what I'm trying to find is, I'm on their website also. I'm really just trying to find, I know they say it's yours forever. I'm trying to find the document that shows me the means by which they create custody and release custody of the domains to me. Because my central question for people, you probably get this, Alex, but people who are watching, they're like, why does he care so much? Is if it's a custodial thing where, like, they've got a smart contract that has minted these domains on all these networks, and they are releasing it to you. I want to know the code. I want to know the contract, because there could be a mechanism in the smart contract that says the owner of the contract owns the token at some fundamental bottom level, so that if Elon Musk, I don't know, needs to be deplatformed, we can yank that back. Smart contracts can be programmed in variable, like they're totally flexible. So I want to verify. Don't trust, verify. I don't want to rely at any level on somebody somewhere to have to do what they say they're going to do. I want it to be in the code, because the code, it can make commitments, and that's why we call it trustless. I don't need to trust that. Just verify. Test Temp says, I minted 2, but never deep diving into what to do with them. Well, it's not just a cheeky meme. There are 18 plus ways to use your domain. And presumably there are also 18 plus ways to use your domain, if you know what I'm saying. Tons of possibilities. You can use it as your crypto address. It can add to your reputation, one of your online credentials. A decentralized website. They say you can use it for your brand, for your DeFi logging, credit scoring, digital identity, readable leaderboard. That's kind of cool. Gaming and metaverse login, education credentials, tipping, credit cards, digital business card, avatars, data ownership, email, social media, human readable payment. Some of those things I'm like, aren't they the same? And some of those things I'm like, what is that? Human readable payment? No idea. So they also looks like have a ton of integrations, and I recognize Sandy Carter, their COO and head of BizDev. She was at a conference I attended in Florida. And I want to say she has also worked at or is somehow related to Lens Protocol. And I remember hearing her talk about Unstoppable, though I don't remember what she said. I think it was pretty standard project leader. This is, we're building the future. We're decentralizing this, why it's important. You don't own your website, whatever. But I remember looking at her and thinking, man, anyone can make it in Web3, because she looked like straight out of Web2 HR. Let me show you this woman's picture. She looks like she's about to either, I can't tell. Oh, I don't want wallpaper. I can't tell if she's going to report me to corporate or if she's going to bake me cookies.
Or both.
Like, this woman looks like she has climbed some ladders and broken some ceilings, mostly in like offices with copy machines, and now she's here to fuck up Web3. Let's go, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And she was business too. She was professional. I do remember she was warm and professional, but she looked like she didn't mess around. So, you know.
Um,
First time in a while, Craig Mo. Welcome. I'm sorry, Alex.
I just DM'd you a link to mine, which is on the OpenSea link to my unstoppable domain. If you wanted to take a peek at it,
If I want to buy it and LARP as you.
it's not for sale.
Listen, man, everything's for sale. Oh yeah, demonic NFT. You went with the .NFT. I think if I had to pick today, I would go with .wallet. Which I, you know how I feel about the word wallet. I just don't think it's the appropriate word. But yeah, look at that. You even got a little profile picture. Let me show this off. This is cool as hell, man.
So that I did not add, and I don't know where they got it.
Yeah, this is like one of the original Heliomancer promo images, right?
That is the original Heliomancer, yes.
Wow. Wow. That is so cool. That is seriously so cool. They just like found it. Wow. I love that. A CNS or UNS blockchain domain. Use it to resolve. Okay, here, check this out. I'm interested to see this, where it leads to. Gateway, Pinata Cloud. For security reasons, they can't serve me this content. Okay, fine. Interesting. I'm looking at the details. Contract address, that's what I want. Contact address, token ID. Okay. So it is a contract.
Yeah.
And it looks like the creator, unstoppable domains, 3 addresses found. So I don't know. Where am I going to go? I'm not so used to looking to verify who is the source of my contract. Have they revoked access just from the blockchain explorer? So I might have to learn today. This contract matches the deployed bytecode of the source code for contract what? Interesting.
So that exact.
Oh, and it's an upgradable proxy. Transparent, upgradable. Okay. Interesting. I'm sorry, Alex. Go ahead.
I was just a comment on what you just said about searching for the revoke or the renounce transaction.
Yes.
You can do it. It's a type. I really wish there was a way to search for it. To like, if you pull up a wallet or a contract or a pair, I wish that there was a way to filter transactions on every blockchain explorer to sort by type. Because I don't know that I've seen that as a feature, but that would make that so much easier because then you could just do a quick, scan for like, the renunciation type and see if it's present instead of having to, what you would do is dig forever.
I am absolutely not going to make you guys read the source code on my screen. Maybe this is going to be my homework for just me later. I'm going to take this to GPT after I scroll through it a little bit and see if I can't figure out a better process for that, Alex. Because yeah. And I don't know who is something I would like to do is build a better relationship with the teams that build and manage blockchain explorers, because surely they have thought a lot about this, but I feel like, I don't know, there are simple suggestions like that seem obvious to me. We love blockchain explorers, but they have a long way to go before they're truly user friendly.
But in their defense too, the more you do to build a front end on an explorer, the more you rely on the front end builder to be giving you the information that you're looking for instead of. But I guess, no matter how you slice it, there is always a front end to literally everything that is displayed.
Otherwise, it's ones and zeros. And you could even argue that ones and zeros are a front end to some extent for humans to interpret the bits and bits.
Better searchability would be great, I guess. Like, just more tools with which you can filter specific things. Etherscan is definitely starting, like with like highlighting the same address that appears multiple times in one list of transactions just to make it easier to determine patterns. That's a cool feature that I would have loved on the Elrond Explorer 3 years ago.
I want to say really quick to Monib, you are so welcome. Monib said, thanks for the video about the tools for checking meme coins. That was very helpful. I don't know about you, Alex, but I feel like I've gotten a lot of comments recently asking about, in the last couple months, everybody wants to know how to trade meme coins. And we do have answers to many of your common questions on some of the YouTube videos we've got already. especially the one about liquidity, the master metric, especially the one about doing your own research, especially the one about token sniffer. We cover soul sniffer in that. We cover how to read a blockchain explorer. We cover how to use Dex Screener to spot and vet different types of meme tokens. And then this is the thing about the newsletter. We're really trying to work on building a better library of long form content. But until we do, a lot of the time we talk about this stuff on the show. And when I link to a show in our newsletter, what I do is go to YouTube, I upload all these streams, and they're not optimized for YouTube, you know, but we do our best. We upload the streams, and then when I reference a stream like where something happened, if Alex spotted a honeypot in real time, like the Limu thing, I go to that video, I get the timestamp and share it from that moment. So that when you read it in the newsletter and it's like, check it out here, it doesn't just take you to like a 3-hour episode. It takes you to a 3-hour episode at timestamp 51 minutes and 22 seconds where Alex starts talking about the thing. So until we get a lot of this stuff like in its own dedicated focus video, like those videos I told you about, check out the newsletter. That's how these things are working together. You know, come to the live stream, you hear about it, go to the newsletter, keep your notes, and then YouTube is where you can, like, you know, sit down and study for a minute. And if you've got suggestions, we also have a testimonial form so that you can leave a little, this is why I watch the show, and this is what the hell you need to do. Questions, suggestions, good jokes, words of wisdom, feedback, people. We love it. You can find it all at theriseupmorningshow.com. My commercial is over. Hey, Robbie. Welcome, man. Rutherford B. Hayes. Alex, let me tell you this. Nixon or Rutherford B. Hayes, I'll tell you two categories. I would absolutely compare them, and I would come out with a decisive winner. I want you to Google Rutherford B. Hayes. Go to images. The category is facial hair. Nixon, out in round one, dude. Can you even, Richard Nixon? Rutherford B. Hayes, dude. I mean, this guy didn't give a single. Listen, man.
My first instinct was just like, aren't they separated by like pushing 100 years?
Absolutely. But they're also separated by their ability or lack thereof to grow a beard. This is what I'm talking about right here. If you don't know your American presidents, Rutherford B. Hayes might have had the most IDGAF beard in the history of presidential beards. He's looking at you, Alex, like, step it up, bro.
For real.
He's hiding food in there.
Sorry, Rutherford.
Yeah, Rutherford B. Hayes. Ladies and gentlemen, fun fact, when I was a little boy, I absolutely loved learning about the presidents, and it started because of a fascination with the guys who were on the money. I loved money. Thought it was so fun. I was one of those kids. Oh, man. Let me catch up on this. Robbie, did you see Robbie's comment? He said, is that Alex with a filter?
Oh, wow, look at that. The markets, I haven't looked at prices in days, but things do be up.
Things do be up. Okay, give me a report on this. And Robbie said he listened to the Onchain podcast with Eric of Venice AI. Have you checked out Venice AI yet, Alex?
I've opened it in a tab and I have not done anything else.
After you do a market report, I'll pull it up over here and I'll show folks what it is. We can talk about it. But Robbie just said as a preview, I'm ready to sell the wife and kids and back that guy. Yeah, Eric Voorhees is he's an OG. What's happening in the market, brother? Specifically,
most things are green on the week, and at least slightly on the day. Bitcoin is just over 66. Solana back over 160. So the biggest gainers on the week are, at least this is up top, Solana, Near, Pepe.
Give me some percentages. What are Solana and Near up?
13 and 13-ish, respectively. Shib's up 12. Pepe's up 30. Immutable X is up 16. Arweave 14, the graph 13. Phantom 22. See, like some of these just make no sense.
Phantom's up 22. Oh man, I gotta go sell.
Floki 24. Jupiter 13. Akash 24.
Yeah.
Mondo 12. And these are not all the ones that are up. These are just like the biggest ones, like 15 plus.
Man, I was looking to move some stuff around to pick up some more Akash.
I mean,
Phantom was one of the things I was considering selling. I know they're having some news and some upgrades soon, but I've been holding it forever. It's done nothing for me except tie me down. I just am not as confident in the team anymore. But I'm also unplugged. And Mac was like, "Oh, they're coming up with upgrades soon," and I was like, "But are they?" I'm thinking about getting down to Cardano pretty much. I need to make some moves.
Speaking of Cardano, let's check.
I was gonna say, is Cardano trending on Crypto Panic? What's the over/under, chat? I'm gonna say yes.
It is trending, but it's the same story from yesterday.
Charles is spinning up servers just so he can bump this article. That's what I think.
There's also a trending headline. Legendary trader Peter Brandt says XRP looks like it's heading to zero.
Rough.
So there's a cryptocurrency it's in rank 84 within the top 100.
Okay.
I've never heard of it before.
Okay.
It's called CHEELEE. CHEELEE. It's a short form video platform with GameFi mechanics that rewards users for watching the feed.
It's
notable because its market cap is over $1 billion. I mean, the website is quite slick.
Yeah, but I'd really want to know, how old is the token? Can you see how old the token is?
The website is super young.
Yeah, I would be curious to know. So if I was this marketing
February.
Oh yeah. If I was this, and do you see how much of the supply is like floating versus locked up? What's in circulation? Just like a percentage if you had to.
Like a 20th.
Yeah, okay. So this is my bet for the narrative. I don't have all the evidence to verify this, but the pieces are starting to come together. We're a new social media marketing team, like our Dracula meeting last time. And we have watch to earn to get people to our platform. We got a fat bag of incentives to start. And we release a small amount of token supply to a strong round of seed or early investors before we bring the token to market, so that one, the market cap is not an accurate reflection of our company's value. It's way bigger. Number two, when we get the boost from the incentives, when we get the boost from the launch, we get on CoinMarketCap and we get the boost from that. You know what I mean? Like, that's the strategy right there. It's a money raising play. I don't even need to touch their app to know that unless they change the incentives here, it's done. They could have the world's best app right now, and I'm sure they don't. But
so I'll let you know, because they do have a live app.
Dracula, are you watching this?
It sounds like their little unique motif on the watch to earn narrative, their little special sauce, is that it's not a straight, and I do not know this for sure. This is what I'm piecing together from reading the front page of the website. But it says that you watch content in open boxes, which makes me think that it's randomized. That you can earn drops for engaging, and you're not guaranteed to get good stuff in the drops, which is...
Check it out. It's hard because there's this overlay, but this is what it looks like. These are like examples of the boxes. First of all, they've got two tokens. I can't tell which are on-chain and which are not. And honestly, this part is brilliant. It's called CHEELEE, which is short for chili, because they've got this chili pepper branding. And it looks like you can earn Cheel and earn Lee. CHEELEE. And my guess would be that it's like the Dracula model, where one of them is like drip, where it like absolutely costs nothing and you just earn it for posting and watching. And then the other one is like the money token that you exchange this token for. Like, if you buy this item, for example, it earns you, you can't see it well, 760 Lee per day, and it costs 2,500 USDT. So it could be an interesting model, kind of like Clash of Clans, but for TikTok.
Mm.
And I wonder if these things are NFTs, in which case that would also be really smart, I feel like.
Yeah, this to me makes it sound like a thing that the people who are in it are probably earning something semi-decent, and then it will just be diminishing returns.
You know what my other my question for this is which countries is this legal in? Because I guarantee you, if they're doing this by the book, they have, and they're in the App Store. So I guarantee you they have a list of countries that this is not legal in, and I would not be surprised if ours was on it. Aha, yes, digital glasses. That's what their items are called. You can increase your income with different digital glasses. I would try this.
You know what's interesting is they didn't verify their Twitter. They're not spending $8 a month to get the check mark on Twitter, which is that's kind of a flex almost.
Almost, yeah. How many followers do they have?
126,000.
Yeah, and it's got some kind of Ponzi-nomics for sure. You know, starting digital glasses that cost $3 for free, get up to $9 per week with your starting glasses. And then you got to upgrade your glasses to get more. That's interesting. Thousands of people make money with CHEELEE. Okay, cool.
They've been in development and working on stuff since 2020.
I just don't know why we haven't heard of them. How come we haven't heard of them? This is what we do.
Never heard of it.
If your glasses don't pay off in 2-3 weeks, we'll give you 2 times their price. Interesting. You can get common glasses, custom glasses, simple glasses, elementary. I did that because it was the best, believe me.
Tremendous.
Very best. I don't know. Interesting. I would try it. I would definitely try it. Is anybody here using CHEELEE?
Kai said they saw it about 2 years ago. Is it? Not sure. I mean, it doesn't look not legit. Like, I'm sure it's not a scam. It might not be a great. If it's in the App Store, that's like, you know. Yeah, getting hosted in the App Store is not the easiest thing ever. I know, because we're looking into it.
It's hard, frankly.
It's just interesting because there are only 2 tokens in the entire top 100 that I have not heard of, and that's one of them.
What's the other one?
Athena in number 90, which is.
Oh, you haven't heard of it? Yes, you have. I'm certain you've heard of Athena. Athena is a new liquid staking token. This just goes to show you how quick information turns over. I heard a fantastic Onchain podcast a couple weeks ago when it first came out. I don't remember which of the French DeFi platforms it represents, but Aave and I think Maker were in like a big war over it. It's a new platform stable token that is a liquid one. It's a derivative, and it had all these incentives that made people rush to put their ETH in it. And also there was some extra controversy because one of them, I don't remember who it was, Aave died, whatever, delisted the other's token from their platform in order to only offer this one. And they were like, oh, you're going to take our widely used coin out of circulation because you want your new token to be a success? That's not cool. You know, DeFi beef. Gotcha. I bet DeFi Daddy would know a lot of up-to-date bullet points about it.
Gotcha. Interesting. I don't know that I know it by name, but I don't pay attention to any of that kind of stuff, so that's probably why.
Honestly, I don't either. If it wasn't for Unchained, I'd be...
So, a couple quick headlines that were interesting.
Hang on, real quick before you go to headlines, can I give you the tokenomic BIP on CHEELEE?
Yeah.
Just FYI. So they do have a white paper, a light paper, and a tokenomics section, and their mission is to provide everyone the opportunity to monetize their time on social media. Based on our conversation about missions the other day, I'd give that a good grade. Again, the branding on point. So they've got a BNB token, BEP20, called CHEELEE. Total supply, 1 billion. It's their governance token. Enables the purchase of unique digital goods within the app, essential for voting on new features in the future. The LEE token is their utility token. 7 billion supply. All in-app transactions are carried out with this internal token of limited emission. Automatically, it gets accrued to your in-app wallet for watching the feed, so it's like their drip. And the speed of accrual depends on how many tokens you earn. The more difficult, this is like a European team or something. They say the more difficult is the earning of the left token. So it's like Bitcoin is what they mean, where the fewer tokens remain, the harder it is to earn them. They raised almost $4 million in their seed round. They listed tokens. That's interesting. And they've got a whole like token distribution chart. I don't know. I just wanted to say they've got some good information here. We don't have to go through it right now. This is what I would do though. And what I might do next, maybe I'll add it to my homework list. Maybe I'll put it on the newsletter and somebody can do their homework with me, just to see what the take is on this. But I just wanted you to know they do have tokens. They are tokens. It is a white paper.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. Please do give me some headlines.
Let's see. So the first official statement about Bitcoin from Vanguard's new CEO.
Vanguard has a new CEO?
Apparently. Well, I don't know how new. I don't know when he became the new. But this is from today. Salim Ramji held his first interview, so he's got to be relatively fresh.
Yeah.
And announced that the Bitcoin ETF decision will not be reversed. No shit. No shit, Samji. It's made. How much money has it made you guys? And you're like, yeah, we're gonna keep doing that. Like, good call.
Yeah, right.
U.S.-based investment company Vanguard, which has a negative perspective on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, recently introduced its new CEO. They manage 7.2 trillion in assets. So this must have just happened because this article literally says they named Salim Ramji, the former head of BlackRock's global ETF division, as its new CEO. It was wondered whether there would be a change in Vanguard's decision regarding the spot Bitcoin ETF, regarding the transfer of Salim, an important name in the launch of BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF. I don't know why they would expect that to change. Unlike global giants such as BlackRock, Vanguard's new CEO, who has had a negative attitude towards cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. Dude, Jesus Christ! This article I'm 4 paragraphs deep. It has told me nothing. It's just words.
It's just the app piece.
I hate it when people write like that. Just like learn to write. It's like wasting my time.
Is there a news site that just does bullet points? Like,
dude, for real.
Appropriate context, minimal space and words. That would honestly be really hard to do, but it would be so valuable.
Like, okay. Listen, this is whoever wrote this deserves to be punched in the mouth. So speaking to I don't know who Barron's is. There's no reference to Barron's before now, but anyway, said Vanguard is not okay, fantastic. So yet another paragraph telling me that Vanguard's not changing their mind. In his statement, and then another paragraph telling me that he hasn't liked crypto in the past. Dude, this is terrible. I learned nothing. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
A nothing burger headline. Okay, what do we got next?
God, that's obnoxious. And then I just wanted to. This is just a price prediction about Bitcoin moving before October, but I wanted to see who's making it. TC, if I fed that to ChatGPT would be like, no, I'm not wasting my time. So this is from Willy Woo, the Onchain analyst himself. Presented an optimistic outlook for Bitcoin in the upcoming months. Also supports Plan B's thesis.
What is Plan B's thesis?
Oh, come on. Don't you remember?
Nope.
Last time, Plan B. You know Plan B.
I know Plan B, but I don't know that we're talking about the same Plan B.
We're talking about the not the contraceptive. We're talking about the person who made the, I forget what the name of his chart was, but he had that classic price prediction chart. What's it? The stock to, no, is it stock to flow? No. What's the name of Plan B's prediction model?
Yeah, that's not the plan. I was gonna say I know the the other Plan B.
Yeah.
On a first name
Okay.
basis.
Plan B is the one who created the stock to flow model. So anyway, infamously, had stock to flow was proven wrong last time. Didn't pan out. But expecting strong rally in 2025 will be enormous, driven by the increasing global liquidity that typically benefits risky assets. Expects it to move before October this year. Some nonsense about a chart. Come on, give me the juice.
Speaking nonsense about a chart, did you see Will's video where
Yes.
he went into base meme coins and he was like TAing that?
I was making fun of him for that, yes.
Me too. I was roasting him in the comments like, bro's out here doing TA on meme coins. God bless him. That's our friend Will. He's earnest to the end.
Okay, there's no specific number, but according to the stock to flow, they're predicting 100K by the end of the year, which
honestly, we're not price predictors really truly, but the people who give the best, most reasonable takes that I have seen seem to be sitting somewhere between, I mean, this is a huge range I'm about to give you, like 85 and 115. I don't think about any particular time frame. I just, in my mind, it checks out to me that in what I would call like the short term, and when I say short term, I mean like the end of the year or like the next kind of, the foreseeable future. I'm in that camp of like Kathy Wood. Like it just makes sense to me that one day, a little further down the road, maybe 2030, we'll have $1 million Bitcoin. Do I know for sure? No, not confident enough to bet on it, but like that's where we're going. In the short term, we got to hit 100,000 sometime. I don't think it's just going to go from where we are to 1 million.
no.
That's
100,000 is such a momentous mental hurdle.
Yeah. And based on like the kind of movement we saw before, Cookie Muncher was joking, is it still the bull run? I just think that based on the movement that we had before, the weird market dynamics, I think people are uncertain, they don't know what to do, but I feel like that's the next kind of place to go to. I don't think we're going to go to like 80 and then just stop. That seems weird. And I'm not giving you good like whys because that's not my job. I'm not a price predictor, but the people who have articulated those arguments and used different kinds of evidence to support it or verify or validate their claim, that's what I tend to nod my head yes to. I have been convinced.
Yeah, I obviously have absolutely no idea. The things that I do know, and this is funny because this is the thing that Bare Naked originally blocked me for. The first time he blocked me, it was for saying this. I basically just said that the ultra wealthy don't like to lose money. So if they're like doing something, there's probably a reason for it because I'm sure that they have their own group text.
Yeah, right. Of course they do.
I always thought that was funny because like Bare Naked was accusing me of like saying things that I didn't know for sure when he is very much in the business of like TA and price predictions. Like good for him. But I was just like, dude, I don't know why you're coming after me so hard. Like there's so many people that it makes more sense for you to be upset at, but go off, little buddy. And anyway, all I said was like Onchain, there's people who are like the ultra wealthy, they're buying Bitcoin. I think that was the on-chain analysis, was like the ultra wealthy, the big whale wallets are like buying Bitcoin right now, and whales. I think I said whales don't like to lose, and he clipped me saying whales don't like to lose and stitched it as like you don't know what whales like. I was like, okay, weird take, but whatever. Anyway, in the yesterday, so just yesterday, 300 million in buys from the combined ETFs. And one of the things contributing to the price bounce in Bitcoin right now is that it's been officially revealed, even though we knew this already, but I guess like collectively written and like succinctly displayed. Institutions reveal $10.7 billion in Q1 spot ETF buys.
I'm sorry, read that number again.
10.7 billion.
Wow. I mean, that's just wild.
I mean, when you compare that to other ETFs that have gone bananas, that's crazy. U.S. investment firms, institutions, and banks have outed themselves as among the largest spot Bitcoin ETF whales. May 15th is the deadline for U.S. investment firms holding at least 9 figures worth to disclose their Q1 holdings via 13F filings. Fintel data shows that 929 investment firms disclosed owning spot Bitcoin ETF shares with a combined fund buy-up of 10.7 billion.
So 900 for 10 point, and that's not. I mean, that's not covering what BlackRock and Vanguard et al. Have been buying to prepare for this.
Exactly. Yes.
In terms of Bitcoin. So
yeah, because Michael Saylor alone has probably $10 billion worth.
No, and that's a good distinction. And I wish Will was here because he's been tracking this data a little longer. It's an important distinction between, like, when you see BlackRock is buying, Vanguard is buying. Right now, they're buying in anticipation of the kind of volume they will see. They're trying to anticipate what this 10.6 billion number is going to be. And they are trying to buy or sell so that they don't have, too much exposure, but so that they got enough so that when you want to buy Bitcoin, you can come buy it from them and you can buy it at a good price.
Yeah.
If they got to go out and buy it, that's going to affect the price they're able to sell it to you at. I would be really interested to see a more like thorough comparison. Somebody who's a data nerd, kind of comparing those things to see who has won the ETF, like who bought the most Bitcoin in the year before, or maybe the 2 years before, and then how are they selling it? What prices did they sell it at? Did they have to go out and buy more? Inflows, outflows, kind of thing, but without all the journey along the way. I just want somebody to tell me at the end of the day, like, who won the ETF for. So far, it's far from over. Alex, I wonder, before you go into the next headline, can we answer a couple of these questions?
Yeah, for sure.
I've been tracking just a couple. Ryan asked for a quick summary of SUPRA, and Robbie asked, what is a heat map? And what I did with the heat map, I was wondering if because I know what it is, but I couldn't tell you any more about like when or why you would use it. I asked, can you explain? I asked this to the new AI, Venice AI, the one that Eric Voorhees and Tiana Colton Baker were talking about on Unchained. Baker Taylor, sorry. It's like, aims to be as good as GPT. You can pick between several different models. I asked Llama 3, and the question I asked was, can you explain heat maps as they refer to market trading? And I'm just curious, if you ask Gemini a similar question, I can paste it to you, what it would say. I can give you the exact question. Here it is in our DM. Gemini does not lose. But this is a pretty good answer. And I wanted to tell you that what I liked about Venice AI is that before I even got to this page, if you just go to venice.ai, you know how when you go to OpenAI, you got to sign up for an account, et cetera, et cetera. You don't have to sign up for an account to start using it. It just shows you like a Google interface, like Venice AI, what do you want to ask? Type in your question, you're off to the races. Because their big play is privacy. And of course, it's showing that I'm a guest. I could create a profile if I wanted to earn points, have higher limits. But of course, they do a lot of interesting sort of chat history deletion, etc. Doesn't store and can't access your chat history. It's stored in your browser and you can delete it there. We love it. So Robbie, to answer your question, a heat map in the context of like crypto trading, it's a visual representation of price data that just shows you the intensity of trading activity. That was where my knowledge stopped, but I thought it was a better summation here. Usually red means more. You can switch it just like a price chart between hours and days. The color indicates the volume or the price change during that specific time interval for the asset or the instrument that you're viewing. And here's why you might want to use them according to Venice AI. Identify patterns and trends, trading opportunities, high volatility, low trading activity, etc. So for example, if you're looking at a volume heat map, that's going to show you, just like the candles below the chart do, if there's a strong or weakening trend. If volume is going up over time, if the map is getting red or heating up over time, that tells you the market is hot for this asset. If the volume is going down, maybe it's a lack of interest. If you're looking at two heat maps, maybe you can sort of infer a shift in interest or anticipate one. You can see the same kind of thing with price change heat maps. Is the market bullish or bearish? And then this says consolidation or range-bound heat maps highlight periods of consolidation or range-bound markets where the price oscillates between two levels without a clear trend. This is like if you're looking for a good entry point, maybe, like what's the local high, what's the local low, or you're looking for like a breakout. What are we trying to get past? Mm-hmm. And then the last thing it says is correlation heat maps. Correlation between different assets or instruments, helping traders identify potential diversification opportunities or risks in their trading portfolios. It's hard when you're looking at a line in space and many of them at once to see like, oh, are these moving together? It might be easier maybe, or some people might prefer, if you're not colorblind, to see, do the paintings look similar? Do the colors look similar? Are they opposites? That kind of thing, I would imagine. I don't personally use these. I don't do a lot of trading.
I don't either.
It's a good answer. It certainly helped me learn.
Yeah, Gemini's answer is similar and also very good. And I know that liquidity sweeping is, as I understand it, and this is mostly because I know Josh he talks about this in his videos quite a bit. But just, the act of like buying or selling specific amounts to trigger like a cascade effect in people's stop losses and liquidating positions. And so it's usually like becomes safer and safer to predict moves up or down in the short term based on like where pockets of liquidity are living in like open trades and stuff. And this is like very far outside of my comfort zone in terms of like things that I would talk about. That's just like the vague understanding I have based on watching some videos, reading a little bit, and just like Googling terms. Yeah, I'm sure that Kagan would be the ideal person to talk to about all that stuff.
Yeah, we could definitely have him back for a round two sometime soon. That was a great conversation. We should have him up for one of our panel days too. I bet he would have good conversations with people.
Speaking of panel guests, a friend of mine, Mike, is at some point going to join. He's an ex-SEC attorney.
All right.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that. I posted a video yesterday tagging Onchain, and as of yet have had no outreach from Laura Shin, but I would love to have her on the show.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
We had Ryan ask about SUPRA also. We talked about this 2 days ago probably, or maybe even Monday. Yep. And we talked about it on the show before. Alex, you want to give your take on it? My only real take was about the airdrop that I thought had a cool process.
Yeah, I mean, I think, to be honest, the only thing that I'm struggling with on SUPRA is just unique, the defining characteristic. I don't know, for me, maybe it hasn't clicked yet. Like, to be clear, I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, I don't see any like red flags. I don't see any like things that are making me go like, ugh. I'm just like, okay, no, cool, I get it. But like, it's a really competitive space, and I'm trying to figure out what their edge is going to be. Like maybe Evan I'm just walking over there to grab my coffee, but I haven't seen that. Do you have
No.
any like vague idea or a handle on
No,
the
and
it
who I would
factor for
ask
them?
honestly is Dave, because Dave, I know you're watching, and I know you went through a good chunk of that
Yes,
airdrop.
Dave. Let us know.
What's he doing? Yeah, please do let us know, Dave, because David reached out to me after we first talked about it on the show, and he was like, "Hey, I signed up." And this is my experience so far. It's a super learn and earn type incentive. Now, if you're in the US specifically, I know that they have maxed their sign up capacity. Okay, good to know. We'll ask DeFi Daddy, definitely. Dave, I was asking about SUPRA. And the specific question is, as Alex and I were looking at it, they're in a really competitive space where their primary goal, it seems, is to be an oracle. But they also want to do that random, I can't even remember what it is, and I'm not looking at it. And I feel like they had another thing too that was like some sort of aggregator or DEX, something. Like they had three primary products, one of which seemed to be their focus, was the oracle. And that's just a super monopolized space. Chainlink is the one. So, what is their edge? Aside from the fantastic marketing and the awesome airdrop campaign, because that's killer. Like, that's how you do an airdrop. You get people excited to learn about your stuff and tell other people about it. Like, basically the best. I don't know if they're onboarding devs the way they're onboarding token hunters, but I hope they are. Hey, Jordan, welcome.
Yeah, no, it's That's what. What are you doing? Go eat some breakfast, you little
Oh,
nerd.
is that Jordan?
Yes.
Jordan, what's going on, man? Listen, I will mention Jordan every time he's in the chat, just so he knows. He said no.
Grounded forever.
He defies you. Oh man, that's pretty
Um,
funny.
no, I think in my experience, the thing that you need to properly onboard like the large group to combine both developers and users is just a good incentive structure. So if you have like an incentive structure in the with regards to the way that they're doing their airdrop build and advertisement and what you can do to earn different pieces and stuff, but then you can also have developer and builder incentives in the form of like easy entry grant program, especially stuff that's like I don't even mean like huge grants. Like there should be the option for big grants if you meet standards and yada yada, and you apply and get through different rounds, interviews, all that kind of stuff. But like I've never seen a network that does specific micro grants, like for someone who's just like a couple $100, like that you can apply for, like we had wanted to do with future founders. It's like, look, I want to get into this, but I don't even have a laptop. I have like a micro grant literally to buy a piece of technology, like, sponsor a future builder kind of thing. That would be really cool. And I've never seen a major network offer a micro grants program. And I couldn't tell you why. That would be my number one piece of advice if I ever consulted with. So there, I just gave it away for free with one
So
of
let
those.
me tell you, I think Base is doing something like that. I'll
They
look it
don't
up
talk
while you
about it
keep
then,
going.
because I've been knee deep in base stuff, base lore for months, and I've never seen mention of a micro grant program. So they need a better marketing team then, because they're not talking about it.
Well, you just might need to pay better. So
Okay, then have you seen the base micro grant program? Like, can you show me where it is?
yeah, I
Or
can.
else to apply?
It's called On-Chain Summer. Okay.
Okay.
On-Chain Summer. You have certainly heard people talk about On-Chain Summer, but you may have
Yeah.
just thought it was like people just being like, hey, it's On-Chain Summer, baby, for the vibes. On-Chain
Yes.
Summer is, in fact, the name of their campaign. They did one last year. They've got one this year. They're giving away over 600 ETH, $2 million. Prizes, grants, gas credits. $2 million, not huge, but also pretty great. You can submit your project. The period might be closed. Go ahead.
No, I'll be right back. Keep going.
Oh, okay. The period might be closed. I'm honestly not entirely sure. If Mashiste's here, I bet he knows. Because I know he applied for one for Logadog, which, let's go, man. And I understand that the grants can be, I'm trying to find a lower limit, upper limit. Come on, baby. Come on. They have, okay, so, all right, okay. They've got a hackathon, which will have like bigger prizes. They've got gas credits. Anyone who wants to can claim 0.25 ETH, not an insignificant sum of money. But also, if it's a busy gas day, like, what's that going to do? That's like a day of work. You know what I mean? You can apply for more. You can get gas credits through partners like Safe, Alchemy, Biconomy Syndicate, Pimlico, Zero Dev, and StackUp. And they have builder grants, but these are retroactive grants for builders with early ideas or initial prototypes. So, you know, there are other partners, Optimism, and God, they're so far ahead. Base is so far ahead. Oh, and they even have a collectible you can mint. Okay. I minted it. See, I minted it. I'm not submitting for it, but I minted. Base day 1. They've updated. Oh, that's great. I think I minted that too. Hell yeah. Listen, if you guys aren't minting stuff and you're participating, this is why I LOL'd at William's video the other day, because, you know, he was like doing TA on memes on base because he wants to get involved in base memes. That's not, I mean, no shade to Will. That's great. I'm glad he's doing it. And I want him to get involved. There's no wrong way to get involved. But if I was going to advise someone on a more effective way, I would say the first thing you should do is go hang out on Warpcast. The second thing is participate in these kind of initiatives without spending any money. I mean, I think I minted base day 1. I might have spent like piddly ETH on it, you know, like for gas because it was a base NFT. Dave, I think you got that one too. It was their promotional NFT. Maybe you had to read some articles or something. It was a very low ask. And then I'm on Zora all the time where they mint all their other collectibles, and most of those are free to claim or like $2. And like, if Base, the company who has a vision for how NFTs will be used in the future, is like releasing collectible NFTs that you can mostly claim for free, except you got to pay a little attention, like, do it. Just do it. Don't do it for the collectible value. Calixto was asking about NFTs. Now I'm getting on a rant. Calixto was asking about, you know, you said we re-sparked your interest in NFTs. The wave of NFTs that is coming now is very much this wave of, you know, we minted a collectible to commemorate the start of Onchain summer. And your presence as a member holder of that collection, it may cost you less than, you know, a hundredth of a Bored Ape. I don't know. But it's just, you're building your reputation and your credentials on chain in the way we've been talking about for years. It's finally starting to come to fruition. Oh my gosh. Hang on just a second. Take over for me.
Yep. So, in the context of base being overhyped, I do want to talk about that. I don't think that it's overhyped necessarily, but I would certainly be cautious. And it was super rude of Evan not to mute when he walked in. But basically, there's a lot of reasons to be hyper bullish on stuff in the base ecosystem and the base ecosystem in general. Namely, because Coinbase is behind it, and Coinbase is humongous, and they are mighty. And if they're backing something, there is a much higher chance of success, in my opinion. And the fact that Base is not doing a native token is pretty cool. So why should you be cautious? Because there's a ton of attention on Base, and you can build some pretty convincing scams on Base in terms of tokens. The ways that people are building honeypots on Base is getting around a lot of the token sniffing sites, the pre-audit tools, the Go Plus, the Quick Intel, the Token Sniffer, all of those. Like, they're having a much harder time properly analyzing it, and they're getting better. They are actively working to fix this because it's a big problem. But you got to be careful because there are so many scams. There are so many more scams on Base than there are legitimate projects. Basically, every brand new token that launches on Base, I immediately just assume it's a honeypot until I see confirmation proof that it's not. And so that is a really good question. I definitely want to talk about that too. Anyway, so just 100% agree. Be hyper cautious and super vigilant with base, because while I think that there's going to be really, really cool like Warpcast, the whole Farcaster platform and everything on bait is amazing. It's super, super cool. I'm really excited about it in the future. I mean, now and in the future. But to the point, be more careful on base than you are on every other network. And you should be careful on every network, but especially on base, because holy shit, it is scam city. And like I said, the dangerous part is that a lot of the pre-audit tools, a lot of the things that we've talked about as the resources are not completely up to speed, properly cataloging base scams. And they are getting better. They are actively, every day I notice that it's a little bit better. It's catching a little bit more stuff, whatever, but it's still not all the way. So it's on us to check them and catch them. Okay. Definitely want to bring Evan into the NFT conversation, but so the question is, understand the concept of NFTs but don't see the value. So I think that's just because, for the most part, we have exclusively seen NFTs that are not valuable, which is fine. You can use something that's really cool to basically all an NFT does. This is the best example. I'm not going to go get the whole painting, but I have a painting hanging in my kitchen. It's a big painting, and I have all of this. So picture a painting, and it came with all of this stuff. Okay. Certificate of authenticity, a letter signed from the gallery that I bought it from, stating that it was indeed purchased in their gallery, and then a watermarked and stamped and signed paper appraisal of the painting. So all of these things together, this is the NFT for the painting. It's the proof that it is what it is. It's the proof that it came from where they say it came from. It's the proof that it was painted by the person that painted it. All that good stuff, right? I mean, I think we're all pretty familiar with the concept of certificates of authenticity. You can totally create the paperwork to authenticate a piece of shit, right? So the presence of this, the presence of an NFT, does not in any way, shape, or form mean that the thing that has the NFT is valuable. It doesn't mean that at all. Evan could, you could have an NFT.
I could assign an NFT to every bowel movement I make.
Yes. No, it's you. That's really the best way to say it. You could put an NFT on literally anything that you want, and the NFT doesn't make the thing more valuable. It makes the thing more secure or more,
and also
more easily
prove.
More easily verified that it's real, that it is what you say that it is, that it belongs to who you say it belongs to, that it came from where you say it came from. All of the things that this stuff is showing, but like I could crumple this up and throw it in the trash and it's gone forever. I can't get another one of these. Maybe if I reached out to the gallery and then I proved my identity and they like had a financial record saved in their database, but it's been years, of like me buying the thing and then they could resend me the same paperwork again. But like, it's a huge, difficult process.
It helps make things that are valuable because of their provenance easier to prove, and therefore makes their value easier to realize. The example I like to use too, that's a killer example, is receipts from a store.
Yeah.
A receipt from a store is not, the way we do it right now, terribly valuable, okay? They're easy to lose. I put one in that I want to save in my pocket. It gets crumpled up. It gets destroyed. A lot of people can't return something because they lost the receipt. It is a slow way to move money, even though hypothetically it's effective as a record of your purchase. Like if you have the receipt, if you can maintain it, if you can prove that it's yours, you can exchange those shelves at Walmart for whatever you paid for them. But it doesn't give as much, we would say, velocity to the money as an instant, don't need to save it, easy to verify, can't lose it, can't be forged, faked, whatever, digital receipt. And the other kind of cool thing about like a receipt, the example of McDonald's, is one I told in a video a long time ago. Maybe I'll drag it out and do it. McDonald's had a promotion, don't remember when.
Yep.
Fill out a survey, get a sandwich. And I was broke that summer. I was hungry that summer. I lived down the street from Mickey D's, and I would go there every day at 12. And I would just pick clean receipts off the top of their trash can. I would spend 10 minutes filling out surveys on my smartphone. I'd write the little code at the top of the receipt, and I would go to the counter, and I would just hand over like 3 of them, and I'd be like, this is what I want to eat today. And I had not purchased the things that generated the receipt. I had not earned the reward. And yet, because I had the physical thing that they were trying to see, does this appear to my eye authentic? They had no way to tell that I wasn't entitled to it. If it was an NFT, instead of being a paper receipt that kills a tree, that takes time, that could be crumpled, that could be lost, that could be picked off a trash can, it would be sent to my blockchain wallet that paid for the meal at McDonald's. It would be sent instantly, without error, directly to me. And only I could then redeem it, or someone I sold it to. If I didn't want that, if I went to McDonald's every day and I didn't want that receipt, instead of throwing it into a trash can and contributing to a landfill, I could sell it for 2 cents. Even that would be cool. And then just think about the other possibilities. Alex and I have talked about this. Wouldn't it be amazing if every receipt was an NFT and then 1 in 100 of them came with a $1 off coupon? That would be killer. 1 in a million of them had a golden border and you get free Big Macs for life. And then McDonald's, without needing to know any personal information about you, can see who their best customers are on the blockchain instantly. They can send them coupons, incentives, whatever. And who else is going to watch it? Burger King. You know, Alex, we talked about this. That's such a good competitor. I can't wait until NFTs do that. So it's not like the NFT is the thing because you're like, wow, it's an NFT, let me buy it. But it increases the surface area. It's a new medium for people to play around with ideas about value, about ownership, identity. That's the thing to get excited about and to start understanding. But also, you know, if you have like McDonald's receipt number 69, 69, 69, 69, that NFT would probably be worth something because, you know.
Yeah, because it's funny. But no, I mean, that's really the best way to think about it. Like, you know, I think in the beginning, NFTs were certainly presented as like, it's an NFT. It is inherently valuable. You must pay more for it because whatever. When really all it was doing was like, yes, you're correct. Anybody could have made that picture of a monkey on Microsoft Paint. Yeah. However, as is the case with the modern art argument, you didn't. And so like maybe that one is special, but it's not special because it's an NFT. The NFT is what allows it to be special for whatever other reason. But no, it's a really good question.
It's such a good, and honestly, that was our killer clip last time. Did you have a chance to upload that? By the way, this has nothing to do with anything, but did you? Because I would love to reference it.
Which clip?
NFTs. We talked about it last time, like non-fungible token, and we had this similar conversation, but like this is fire. I honestly think that's one of our best. It's one of our greatest hits, Alex. It's when we talk about this topic particularly.
The one clip that I clipped yesterday that I want to upload is the one of Mac entering the stream as a koala. But no, can you just remind me which stream that one is located in, and I'll cut it out. Is that one of mine?
It's one of yours. It's last week. I think it was Thursday.
Okay.
Which is the day? No, Thursday is the day Will joined. I can look back if it's been uploaded. I think there's one that you have that you didn't upload that I can't look. Excuse me, through.
Okay, I can look through my. No, you're right. You're definitely right. There was.
It would be like a Monday. It would be like May 7th or something like that, like 6 or 7.
We will find it today. Sorry, Tori, I moved on too far. What do you mean you couldn't on the modern art, but yes?
Maybe you couldn't verify or you couldn't.
Oh, you mean you couldn't make it? Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I'm just being facetious that the someone looks at a Jackson Pollock and they're like, oh, well, I could have done that. It's like, yeah, well,
Yeah. Is it smart to use crypto to buy business materials and then write the expenses off? I think it's smart to buy and write off expenses however you want to pay for it. I personally wouldn't use something like Bitcoin to buy anything. Stable coins, maybe. If you're not planning on like investing the money to grow it, because a lot of crypto assets are for many people investments, right, Alex? I mean, if you're going to invest something, you probably don't want to go and spend it on milk if you expect it to go up 10% kind of deal. But expenses are good. You should definitely be taking them. And sorry, I didn't see the whole question. Counteract the tax on profits. I think instead of spending the crypto gains, because you could just as easily spend your dollars on that, I think it might be better to harvest crypto losses. Do you know any of them, Alex? The NFT pawn shops. If you Google this,
not
you
a
can,
problem.
yeah, you can find it. There are loss harvesting services, which is honestly a brilliant crypto consumer product, where they'll buy any NFT, they'll buy any crypto token from you. If you, I don't know, bought a project that was going to have a game and a metaverse and a whatever, and it's an NFT or it's a fungible token and it's worth nothing now and you can't offload it, but you want to harvest the tax loss, you can sell it to them and they'll buy stuff for like, fractions of a penny so that you can claim like the maximal loss. It's an interesting business model, and especially for like, I don't know, a gambling company, that would be smart because now they're going to have this treasury just full of worthless tokens, and one day one of them be worth something, maybe or maybe not. I don't know.
Yes, even the scams.
Even the scams. Scam Warning asks, Evan, what are your thoughts on SOBA and Scam Warning? I just have to say, it's ironic that you, of all people, would ask that. I don't think SOBA intends to be a scam. I haven't engaged with it enough to give it an honest assessment, aside from the fact that the way it is being marketed is illegal. I would not touch it. I wouldn't touch it because of that.
Hard
That
pass.
says it all. It says it all. Did I watch? Oh man, I'm behind. Hang on. Sorry. Nadix. Who's TikTok about Nadix? I don't know. I don't know about Nadix.
Okay.
You look tremendously
I'll say
thoughtful.
it. I'm going to say it one time. It's the same reason that every single that I'm aware of and that I have ever found out about influencer meme token has been illegal, because you cannot financially incentivize somebody to buy something. You simply can't. It's simply against the law. It's a securities violation. That's literally as simple as it is. If anyone has ever tried to sell you something using any marketing tactic that could infer that it will become more valuable someday than it is right now and that you will make money off of it, they are breaking the law. That's as simple as it is.
Yeah, and the difference would be like if you, I'll compare it. When we launched the Faceless Many way back in 2021, there was no talk about any kind of, this is going to the moon, this is a whatever. It was all talk about, like you get to own this incredible piece of art, a part of our story, and then participate in all these different community things. We didn't even talk about rev points until after the launch, as a way to ensure that us and the people that were purchasing these, that they would be safe from any kind of regulatory legal risk. You absolutely can't talk about
The difference is there that every single piece of marketing language or public facing messaging that ever came out went through a securities lawyer first. And that's, I mean, it seems like a complex topic, but it's actually really fucking simple. And that's why I'm so angry about it all the time, because anybody who actually gives a shit could spend 10 minutes with Google and figure out all of these things. Like, I'm not gatekeeping some incredible secret. It's really easy to find. SEC and CFTC guidelines are extremely clear on what you can and cannot say as a marketer, advertiser, promoter of anything, especially something that could be determined to be an investment vehicle. It's really that easy. So I just have zero respect for someone who launches one and doesn't do 10 minutes of legal research to see if what they're doing is okay.
Alex, did you just see this comment that came through about if billionaire Frank McCourt wins the TikTok bid, there's a possibility that TikTok will come to frequency, which would be secured by DOT.
That's wild. I haven't seen any of that.
So I did a Google search for it, and the first thing that comes up is a Reddit thread on r.dot, and it says, looks like frequency, one of the parachains on Polkadot, feels quite ready to crunch the insane volumes of social media traffic from apps like TikTok. Speaks volumes about scaling tech Polkadot enables. Interesting. I don't know anything about frequency. I'm going to have to check it out. And the breaking news Twitter thread that this came from says, I mean, this would be so bullish for Polkadot, dude. Could you imagine? But also, I just say that not as like a, you better go buy some Polkadot, but just as like a knowing it's Alex's like secret love blockchain. Like, finally, some news. And like, what a great, personally for us, like TikTok hosted by Dot. Yeah. Frank McCourt, executive chairman of McCourt Global, founder of plans to buy and rebuild TikTok as a new, better version of the internet where individuals are respected and they own and control their identity and their data. Okay, Frank. This includes leveraging one frequency and DSNP, which I don't know, to enhance decentralization and user control. How cool.
I mean, all I know is that an objectively rational human being that I trust implicitly was looking through different available blockchain infrastructures to do something developer related, and instantly was like, Polkadot is far and away the best option. And yet, they don't market. There's nothing big going on, so they're just kind of there doing their thing. But I mean, I don't know. Polkadot has a ton of VC backing money too. Like they're one of the OG, like before even Solana was super VC focused, Polkadot was out there just like with billions.
And Polkadot 2.0 is like that's the narrative. That's the narrative, the story they're telling. And they're telling it on places like the Onchain podcast, which people like me listen to, but don't let that turn you off. The audience and viewership of that podcast is the kind of people I would ask, what do you think about this? So, And DSNP is Decentralized Social Networking Protocol, establishing a shared social graph no longer dependent on a specific app or centralized platform. I mean, listen, this is where DeSo is totally headed. Social networks are moving towards shared social graphs where, like, the network, the product is, all the posts, the content we create, and the moat is no longer like, I don't know what the moat is going to be. People are trying to figure that out. Mm-hmm. But that's where it's headed. Oh, everybody's trying to crack this nut. It could be Polkadot.
I'm just going to say, like, the one thing that you can use Polkadot for right now is as a baseline test for like good documentation. If you want to like compare the crypto that you're looking at, and see, like, is this a good white paper? Is this a good way to present documentation? Is this a good way to present developer resources? Is this a good way to build a website or whatever, display your network, talk about it, etc.? I'm not talking about marketing. I'm talking about information presentation. Just go look at Polkadot, because I maintain to this day that it's the best website in crypto. It's so boring and so informational. They have an entire wiki. It's just really good.
Machiste asked a good question. How is that social graph different than Farcaster or Lens? Honestly, I would have to look under the hood to see. Farcaster uses a combination of like on, off chain, and I think some sort of branching to execute transactions in like parallel. Like a thing happens off chain. I heard Dan Romero explain it, and honestly, Machiste, you would grasp it better than me. But I'm pretty smooth, and I was able to get it. I recommend the podcast he did. Once again, the show is absolutely not sponsored by another show, Unchained, but if that was an option, it absolutely would be. Unchained, Laura Shin, she does an episode with Dan Romero where he really goes under the hood in a helpful way. They use a lot of mixture stuff, custodial, non-custodial options to make it yours. And I think, I honestly don't know how they're capturing that information or how you are capturing it if you store it. And I don't know how it compares to Lens, and I absolutely don't know what DSNP is doing. I could do that deep dive, but I think you misunderstand, Machiste. I am a messenger. I am a prophet. I have visions and share them. I hear other people, and when ideas get lost in their mouths, I make them clear. I am not the guy you want under the hood of your car. I am the guy you want telling people about it once you build it, okay? I could look at it, but I would have to ask a lot of smart people questions, probably you. I love the confidence, though. So... I'm sorry, Alex, because I know you're getting caught up and you probably have a thought too. I feel like I'm Yappy McYapperson today. Manny, confirm for me. You say, if you would, educate me on NFTs. You were here earlier in the stream. Did you happen to dip out and then come back? Because if you did, man, you have got to catch the YouTube replay of this conversation, because about 15 minutes ago, we did the deep dive on NFTs. What they do, why they matter. If you missed it, you can be honest with me. You can tell me. If you missed it, let me know. And maybe we can recap it, but probably in the interest of time, we won't go as deep. I know Alex has got to get out of here in a couple of minutes. I might stay on a little longer, Alex, just to try and get DeFi Daddy, who's said he would try and come by to say hi, hang out with the audience for a bit, but I probably am going to get off in a little while too. So let us know, Manny, what you're thinking, if that's what you missed. At work, listening while working. Okay, I totally get it. Sorry, I'm checking.
I'm just sitting here on mute like a dumbass.
You're talking. I'm so sorry. I didn't even see you. I was reading the comments. I was like,
no. It's not your fault. It's my fault. There was like a huge line of jets that just went over my head, and it was so loud. So I muted for a second, and then I just kept talking. Manny, all you really missed was a longer version of, and we can cut this out of the episode too. An NFT by itself is not necessarily valuable, because you can attach an NFT to anything. An NFT is just, the example that I gave was, these are my certificates of authenticity for a painting that I bought from a gallery. There's like the authenticity certificate, there's a letter from the gallery saying that I bought it there and that they certified it, and then there's the appraisal. So that's an NFT for a real life physical painting. You can give me paperwork to tell me that anything is the thing. There's like a little bit of coffee left in this pour over. I could technically write up documentation verifying that this is indeed the coffee that I just made 26 minutes ago on whatever date it is. But who gives a shit, right? Like, nobody cares. But it could technically be an NFT. So the NFT is the proof that whatever is actually whatever. That it came from wherever, that it was made whenever, whoever. Okay?
Wherever. That's all I can think about.
So, Machiste would mint that because he's a total degenerate. And that's why we love him. But the point is that you could put an NFT on anything, including something that is not valuable. And having the NFT there does not make it valuable. Suddenly people would not necessarily care about something that they never cared about just because it has an NFT on it. However, if you have something that is valuable, like when Evan goes onto Hysteria this summer, and we all watch him on the big screen on Peacock, and he does his show and whatever, and it's his big break and all this good stuff. And he wears a pair of Ugg boots that day, and they're his first ones. And then fast forward 20 years from now, and Evan is on stage accepting his Oscar. Evan's original pair of Ugg boots that he wore in his first, major television casting will probably be worth something as a collector's item to fans of Evan Man. So you could put an NFT on those boots, and it would suddenly mean that, oh, I feel better that these are the real ones because Evan himself has confirmed that, like, this is the address and this is the thing. And yes, you absolutely can do an NFT on a work of art. You can put an NFT on anything you want.
Even things that don't physically exist, like
Yep.
you attended the show today, that can be captured in a tangible form as an NFT, which may be not worth as much until we're famous, kind of thing. But if you're going to Taylor Swift's concert, that would be a worthy addition to your collection, proof of presence, possible with NFTs. They make it easier to verify things that verifying would give value to.
Yeah.
Effortless.
And like Calixto said, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The NFT allows you to more easily and more verifiably accurately materialize the value that you believe something has.
That's right.
It is as valuable.
Over it. There's no question. There's no like, you've seen that movie where the heist crew is like, we're gonna forge the Mona Lisa and replace it, and then the museum is like, something looks different about the painting, and they hire a little Italian guy because he's one of 3 people in the world who can verify this. They pay him $1 million, take the painting off the wall, and he looks at it, scrapes the paint, damages the painting, and still gets it wrong because he says this is the real one or whatever. NFTs are cheaper, instant. It's like Googling. This is real, this is not. It's not looking at the asset it's attached to the way that little Italian guy might. It is looking at the record. The NFT as a record is easy for anyone to verify. That's why when people are talking about digital pictures like Bored Apes, this one is an NFT, this one is not. Well, they look exactly the same. That's because they are the same. The files are identical. And one of the problems NFTs solve online is when files are totally identical, now you have a way to tell them apart.
Yeah. So, in answer, it's a good follow-up question, Anthony, and I want to go back to something that you said earlier as well, but it's a different topic. So, can you make an NFT for a piece of existing art, like, say, a Guy Harvey print? Yes, is the short answer. However, the caveat here is that if Guy Harvey made the print however many years ago and it was put out into circulation, and now here today, you, Anthony, mint an NFT to represent it, it doesn't mean as much because it's really hard. That's one of the downfalls of NFTs that make it harder and honestly open up like one of the big vulnerabilities. The most powerful an NFT can be is when it is minted at the time that the thing it's representing is also created. If you do the other one first, like we consulted with an artist, Alex Ruiz, who you might, if you don't know him by name, I promise you've seen his work if you've ever watched a Marvel movie, because he designed tons of the sets. If you watched the Beauty and the Beast live action movie, he designed, built in 3D, and animated the Beast. If you watched The Simpsons before it switched to digital animation and it was still pen and paper drawings for animation, he is the pen and paper artist who drew a lot of Simpsons episodes. He was the chief animator in The Simpsons for a long ass time. He has a ton of artwork from the last 30 years, and he asked us about using NFTs to protect it. If he went back and made all of those and then released the official Alex Ruiz collection of his art archive, that would be something. But if me, someone who bought a piece of Alex Ruiz's art 30 years ago, if I minted one now in his place, technically it would be an NFT and technically it would exist. And technically I could use that to make the thing that I own from him more secure. But if it didn't come from him, it's not as valuable. So like all of these things, but you would know that from looking at it. You'd know, like, wait a second, this thing was minted 30 years after the painting was painted. How do we know it's real? And then you would immediately have a red flag.
And that's one of the problems people are really trying to solve with NFTs right now is NFTs can be attached to digital things, which is easier, but also physical things. And we're really trying to bridge the divide of for assets that already exist, how do we tokenize them, like Alex is talking about? But also, if I have something like a shirt, how can I pair that with an NFT such that it's just as seamless and the things don't get lost in translation? People are using NFC chips that you can scan with your phone like to claim an NFT, but how do you keep people from stealing that? How do you, there are all kinds of workarounds to marry the physical and the digital, which I bet that's the other question you were going to touch on that Anthony had about the metaverse, which is a marriage of physical and digital. I definitely want to talk about it. The last thing I had on NFTs was another question about artists that I see you just addressed. I would be really careful because the most important thing anyone in our space can do right now is tell a better story. And frankly, the number of people I would trust to tell this story well, I can count them on my fingers and toes. And it's really important, I think. I can't stop you from doing it. It's absolutely a good idea. Most artists will not see the value. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Expect resistance.
Expect resistance. And this is coming from Alex and this is coming from me. And I'm not saying this to brag, but we have a lot of practice swinging the bat. Before I came to blockchain, we're teachers, educators. Like what we do is break down big ideas and, emotionally compel people to pay attention to them and then like them, know us, like us, trust us, believe us kind of thing. And the number of times I have attempted to have this conversation, and I think I do it pretty well. But the outcomes, there's resistance, totally fine. There is skepticism, and even still, like when the light bulb goes off for a lot of these artists, they have this expectation because of the immense amount of misinformation they've had that when I do this, it's going to make me more money. And even, we talking to people about this and how it will help them, why it matters. It's a really tough task to have at this time. And I worry for people who are just going to go like, hey, Mr. Artist, did you know you can make NFTs of your art? And here's why. Like having that conversation is more likely at this moment in time, I think, for most people to lead to a disappointing outcome. Bad expectations, disappointing outcomes. Not saying it's a bad idea. It's an awesome idea. It's one of the best ideas. But this is a really difficult time to have that idea. And I just wouldn't do it as like a, like knock, knock. Here's my business card. You want to turn your NFTs into an art would make money? Don't do it that way, please.
If you can't sit down and really confidently explain to someone who has no clue what an NFT is, has literally never heard the term before.
Yeah.
And you're not confident that you can get them to, in 5 minutes, walk away from that conversation with a perfect understanding of exactly what it is, try, talk about it, because talking about it repeatedly is the way that you learn to get better at talking about it. You have to practice. Totally. But don't expect results.
Yeah, like come here and practice with us. Like if you, not that we have a monopoly on it, not that we're the best at it, but like, frankly, we're good at this. If you were up on stage with us and instead of saying, Alex, can you explain what an NFT is? I said, Wally, can you explain this? And if you don't feel confident that you could give that level of very natural, not trying to sell you anything, just totally educational, clear, then practice. That should be the first step for you. Practice, practice, practice. Do it with your family members. Do it with your friends that are curious about crypto and watch until the light bulb goes off. And that's going to help you a lot. And listen to people like Alex, who can do it well. Listen to people like Chris Dixon, who I do not know personally, but who I consider my teacher, who talks about this stuff well, like that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Get good at that.
Yeah. And Tori,
do you have a final thought, good joke, word of wisdom, anything like that? Because I know you got a hard stop.
Yeah. So in the context of the same way that we're talking about an NFT, Tori, I would love to, genuinely would love to, and I would even love to be set up stuff like that, helps me get better. I would have no intention of considering the endeavor a failure if I walked away with him just thinking the same thing. But I do like to believe, and it's one of my selling points, that I am much better at talking about this with a skeptic, because, and this is like my defining characteristic, because it doesn't offend me if at the end of the day you don't give a shit still. I don't care. Like, I have information and opinions, and I'm very good at sharing them and explaining them to people. But if at the end of the day you're like, nah, it sounds like a scam, okay, don't do it. You don't have to. No one's got a gun to your head. You certainly don't need to. And more power to you. At least make that determination having a little bit more information than you had before we talked. Yeah. And that's good enough for me. But no, for real, I would love to, because Evan's girlfriend was the exact same thing. Kim was the same thing. Kim is a phenomenal artist who is not a fan and is hyper skeptical. Yeah. And I mean, don't let me put words in Kim's mouth. Get her on the fucking show.
I know, man. I'm trying.
But ask her if she like felt any different about the idea after I spoke to her.
I can confirm for her without putting words in her mouth. She did. She absolutely. It was a refreshing conversation. It was a super refreshing conversation, and she loved it. That was her first time meeting Alex in real life. Part of it was that conversation, and she loved you.
Not okay. I'm really tooting my own horn here. The context of that conversation was, one, yes, the first time I ever met Kim, and two, I believe that I was drinking and shirtless in a pool at a Las Vegas party.
which makes it sound a lot less appropriate than it was, but he's totally.
And I believe Dylan Francis was there.
I think you might be right. Yeah. Oh my God. Well,
so like, put me anywhere.
Put him anywhere. Put him on the moon. I'd send you into the ring. Alex is on that short list of fingers and toes people that I would send. Absolutely. Man, thank you for another great week. I'm going to stay on and answer one or two more questions. I have to go soon too. If DeFi Daddy comes, I'll say hi to him and bye to him. But thoughts? Last ones?
Yeah, my last thought was just that there was another good question in the same context of like, make an NFT make sense. It was like, okay, well, is the metaverse bullshit too?
Yep. That's where I was going.
Yeah. And so my final thought will just be my little nutshell of the metaverse.
Please.
I believe a few things to be true about the metaverse, and these are hills that I will die on. You heard it here first. Yeah. I think that the same way that most NFTs should never have been minted, or should never have been sold the way that they were sold, I think that applies to the metaverse. I also believe that we've had the metaverse, even in the context of the way people are thinking about it now, for like 20, 30 years. Okay? RuneScape is more than 20 years old. And it's a better metaverse than any metaverse I have seen created or even dreamed of in the context of cryptocurrency and Web3. And you could so easily tokenize RuneScape Gold or make level 99 skill capes NFTs inside the confines of the RuneScape ecosystem. And all of a sudden, it would be a Web3 metaverse. World of Warcraft is an incredible metaverse. The Sims is an incredible metaverse. Yeah. Basically all this is an open world concept for an alternate reality that you get to participate in, playing the role of the character that you want to embody. We think about TV shows like what was it called? Caprica, really good one. Altered Carbon, really good show. There's tons of examples of this being done in TV to where you think like, okay, well, it has to be virtual reality, or I couldn't possibly be immersed in a fantasy world or an alternate world. Think about that saying for a second and just, deep dive a little bit. When you read a book, you feel like you're being transported into an alternate world. You watch a good TV show. Like, has anyone ever walked out of the movie theater watching a movie that you were just like so excited about? Like, I had the feeling when I just watched Dune Part 2. Walk out and you're just like, you feel weird going back out into the parking lot and getting in your car because of the time you just spent in that thing. So Ready Player One, good one. For sure. So just think about it that way. sleazy, scammy crypto bros slapped NFTs and shitcoins into poorly constructed digital worlds and called it the metaverse as if it was a new thing. It's bullshit. So, yes, like Decentraland is a way worse metaverse. There's nothing about Decentraland that is better than RuneScape, except I guess that people could make money selling the mana token, but like at the same real world RuneScape trading has been a thing for 20 years, and there are so many websites where you can go buy the gold, buy accounts, buy someone to level up your account for you. Like, maybe Jagex doesn't endorse it and they try to crack down on it, but at the end of the day, like people are making money in real world trading assets, whatever, in and out of these games. Ultima Online. We have an interview on our podcast with William Quigley, who is one of the like OG, brains behind stuff like Ultima Online. So yeah, in the context of Web3, most of those metaverses are garbage and bullshit. But if you zoom out a little bit, we've had the metaverse for decades. I would say we've had the metaverse for centuries. And
I would say we've had the metaverse since people started speaking.
yeah, so in that context, yeah, you can use tokens, just like we said, you could use an NFT to mark something that people actually give a shit about as valuable. And it's not the marking that makes it valuable. It's the marking that allows it to be more verifiably valuable. And you could apply that same logic to describing the metaverse to somebody.
And I have thoughts on mixed reality too that I'll give in a second, but
Evan and I were at a presentation at the Samsung building, which was a mixed reality fashion show wherein models walked out on stage wearing like a motion. I think some of them were in like a mocap, motion capture bodysuit. And if you watched them through a specific filter on a smart device, you could see the digital like outfit, which was really cool. That was a neat experience. I didn't have to buy anything to do it. I was just there and I did it and it was neat. And like you could buy an NFT to symbolize your favorite outfit of the night or whatever. Like that's cool.
Do you see what Mashiste said? He said, I want a contact lens that can put people's names above their heads because I'm terrible with names. And then he said we could call it Lens Protocol. it would be leaps and bounds better than the Lens Protocol they have now, in my opinion.
Mashiste, we've all seen that Black Mirror episode, you psychopath.
Oh no, but that's my thing. So when people are talking about the metaverse, they're talking about like mostly these digital, virtual, or mixed reality spaces. And for me, the thing that's making the metaverse now hard to get excited about is that we don't have the hardware and we don't have the processing power to make that seamless in a fun way, like Tori says, where she can just invite friends who aren't here to hang out with her as if they're in her living room. One day, Elon Musk is working on Neuralink. It's going to be possible. We're going to have all the senses mapped. The same technology that makes it possible for a person who lost a hand to get an artificial limb that relays sensations of touch to their brain so they can pick things up and feel if it's hot or cold. That same technology will have mapped the rest of your immense brain so that you can see and hear and taste and smell things that are beyond your immediate physical reality. I'm going to call Alex, and instead of saying, oh my God, dude, check out this new bakery next time you're in town, I'm going to say, do you want a bite of this croissant? And I'm going to bite it. And he is going to grant permission to his senses to be mapped to mine, and he will experience the croissant as if he is me chewing it. Think about how this is going to change movies, metaverses, courts. When instead of saying, Your Honor, at 9:59 p.m., George walked up to Trayvon, and they're just going to let you experience it. They're going to harvest the data from his brain, and you are going to feel what it is like to walk down the street and have a man say, hey, what are you doing? And you're going to feel the skin on the back of your neck raise. And how will justice change then? The metaverse, as Alex said, has existed for centuries. As long as people have been making meaning and using tools like language or, phones or mail or whatever. We've just gotten better about it. But now we're at the point where we're starting to converge the digital and the physical at the deepest, most intimate level. And we're so not there yet, but we're so close. So metaverse land, totally a scam. Pixels are free. Proximity doesn't matter because you can travel in a click. Who cares if your house is next to Snoop Dogg's when you can just go there, right? But the ability to make meaning with other people in unprecedented ways. That's the juice that's worth the squeeze. That's the metaverse we got to get excited about. And contact lenses. I would fuck with that.
And Black Mirror.
And Black Mirror. Yeah, but could you imagine like going to the grocery store and it's like, here is the most efficient route, or like, you know, to everything on your list, or like, don't forget this, or like, I don't know, man. I could have my script for my TikTok in front of my eyes the whole time, and I could look directly at you and say it, and I wouldn't have to be reading over here. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have to be walking two dogs and trying to like text people back.
Yeah. Although to be fair, CapCut will put a teleprompter on your screen for you now, which is pretty cool.
I use a teleprompter app. I think CapCut has one. That would be next level. Is it the free version?
I don't remember. I have the pro version, so I can't remember. I could look and tell you, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I also just like, I'm really bad at I hate scripting. I have to just off the cuff everything.
Also, Tori, your brother's a playwright. Have you told me this? I would love to read his plays. Alex, you texted me a minute ago and was like, Alex is like, I have a hard stop.
No. What did I say? What did I say?
Now I'm going to check it.
Semi-hardish.
Listen, man, semi-hardish. I have a hardish stop in 8 minutes. A hard stop in 8 minutes. So
I do need to bounce. I've got stuff to do, and I'm driving out to the island today. But
Bashiste said the metaverse will be done before GTA 6.
a lot of stuff.
Bitcoin will be mined before GTA 6, bro. Give it up. It's done.
We're gonna get GTA 7 before we get GTA 6.
That's the best joke of the stream, man. That's the best joke of the stream.
Here all week. That's a lie. I'm done. I'll be here next week.
Find Penguin. Okay, I've got it. Okay, Alex.
I'm gonna go. But thank you to everybody for hanging out. It was a great week, and I will be back same time, same place, first thing Monday morning, and I'll see you guys then.
Yeah, sounds good, brother. I'll see you. I'm going to wrap it up by saying, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the newsletter, tap my face, tap his face, or go to the riseupmorningshow.com. You can find the YouTube streams there. You can find the Discord community. Stay tuned. We've got updates about that coming soon. We're going to make it so easy. It'll be the best place to join.
Next week.
In the meantime, what you got?
Next week.
Next week. Woo! Very cool. In the meantime, find our videos, leave us your questions, leave us your love. Be safe. Have fun on the blockchain. Have fun in real life. And until next time, my friends, rise up.